Chris, thank you for yours. Colin, you couldn't pick something that would be more meaningful to me. My grandmother, that was her favorite song.
Oh.
And so that was always the song she wanted sung at church and so at her funeral. And so brought her very present to me in this time. Well, it's great to be here. I want one more thank you and explanation, I guess, a little bit. Dennis couldn't be here today. Many of you know Dennis has ankle replacement surgery. Who knew there was even such a thing? We didn't until it happened. And so for 6 weeks, he had, as of yesterday, tomorrow he will finally get to put a little bit of weight on his ankle. But he hasn't been out of the house. So thank you for praying for him, those of you who have been doing that, and as an explanation of why you haven't seen him around on campus much. Well, today I want to focus on this familiar story that we've heard a lot, I'm sure. And it's interesting that I want to focus on those words of quiet and be still. The last 2 times I'm talking to you as students, I'm going to be talking today about being still, and I'm going to talk at your graduation about being good. So how many times in your life have people told you that? Still, be good. I don't know, I'm going back to your parents, I guess, to think about that. I'll just tell you that for me, a lot of times people have told me to be quiet, be still. I'm a natural extrovert. I like to talk. Most of you know that. I love to talk. But I love also to have noise around me. I love to hear you talk. And so there's a lot of times in class or when I was growing up that I was the one that was be still, be quiet, sit down. So I know that direction pretty well because it's not natural for me. I am that natural extrovert who loves to talk, loves to be in the middle of activity. I'll just admit to you that when I was in college, your age, and I was a math major, so I work with numbers much more than words. But I always had something on in the background when I studied, music or TV or something. And still today, when I'm even writing a speech, there's always something on in the background. Anybody else like that in here? Like a lot of noise? Oh, good. I have another fellow in that respect. But I love noise. I love to be in the chatter. I love to be in the activity. And so for me to be quiet and to be still takes this extra effort. It takes discipline. It's a little like Ira was talking about his last lecture, that moderation, that balance. It's kind of hard for me to go to that place of being quiet and being still. And yet I know that's the time that when we really connect with God. I know that that's the time when we have those big decisions on our mind. And for those of you who are seniors, we have some pretty big things coming up. After graduation, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? Where are you going to work? What graduate school? Who's your life going to be? All those things that are out there, whether you're a senior or a junior or a freshman or sophomore. It's in that quiet time where we make those probably, we get that confirmation whether those decisions are right and whether they are the way we should go. It's when we can really listen to God. It's in that quiet, still time. I'll tell you a little bit about that quiet time about making that decision for me 8 years ago. Actually, it was started 18 months before I came to Baker. And some of you heard this story, but let me share it with you again. And so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself for some of you. I had never thought about being a university president. Now that may sound odd to you, because I've been in higher ed for a long time, worked my way up. But I didn't think that next move would probably be as a president. And so 18 months before I came to Baker, one of my mentors called me and said I want to have breakfast. It was an odd kind of thing because we were in a restaurant that was usually very crowded and noisy. But at least my remembrance of that day and that morning was that it was much quieter. And for some reason, I think I had on my listening and hearing ears rather than my talking mouth. And he said to me, it is time for you to think about being a college or university president. And I want you to really think about that. And here are the things that I want you to think about over the next few months as you consider this next step in your career. Well, I had a lot of respect for that person, but it was that quiet moment of hearing that advice that took me on this next journey over 18 months of really reflecting on whether that would be a good thing for Dennis and me, whether we wanted to do that. Spent a lot of time putting together my Vita, thinking about where we might want to go if we took that step. And it was at another quiet time when I was on the internet and saw the announcement that former President Lambert was going to retire from Baker. And then that's what brought me here. And it was that first day that I was on campus for the press conference, much like we had in December for President Murray. When Ira, and I didn't even really know Ira, I came during the interview process. Remember that day, Ira? And he came up to me and he said, if you Dennis would like to, we can go over to the chapel after the press conference and we can have a little quiet time and we can pray. And Ira came and we were right here. And that was the time that I knew that that decision was the right decision for us. And Ira would never forget that day. Now, it was a similar time where I was sitting back where Connor's sitting on the back row one early morning, and I was reflecting about the time of my life, that I also made that decision that it was time for me to say when the end was going to be the end of it. This chapel has been very important to me over my last 8 years. So big decisions have been made in here, some real comfort time. It's been a blessing. But it's in that quiet time when I think we can see that God's at work in His hands with us. I've talked to you about that it's not easy for me to find a quiet time. I have that balance and moderation because I have loved the noise of being a baker. I've loved watching you as you perform. I've loved cheering for you. I've loved being part of those events. I loved it on Monday night when I was serenaded by all the sororities and most of the fraternities. And I loved it even later when there was so much noise in my neighborhood because of the fraternities going to each house. And that is wonderful. I love that kind of noise. I love that energy that you have brought. But I've also loved those quiet moments when I've sat across from you and looked at you, or I felt that something really important had happened in your life. Some of you who were at my last lecture may know that my quiet time is purposeful and comes in the morning. And it comes about 6 or 6:30 in the morning when I'm walking on campus. And most of you are not up. Or at least you're not out. The only people I see at that time in the morning, sometimes, Connie, you'll like this because I see some athletes going and going over maybe to work out. But we're all very quiet in the morning, and the campus is quiet. And it's that wonderful opportunity for me to really have that quiet time. It's that time that I pray for you every morning, that you would be safe on this campus, that you would be successful on this campus, that you would be happy on this campus. It's that time in the morning when I have been so grateful for the people who have given so generously so we could have new Mulvane, new dining hall, and your scholarships, and that they've made this a place that is wonderful. And it's a time when I'm so grateful for the faculty and staff that we have here. And it's also a time when I've been going through really hard times here, having to make hard decisions, that I've snuck in the back door and sat back there in the back. And this chapel is open very early, I'll tell you that. And there's no one around, and it is sacred ground in here, to be in here at that time. And just really lift up those concerns. And know that God is here and present and listening. I'll tell you now that throughout the next few days, I met with people in each of the decades since then. And I met 3 of our students who had graduated since I had been here, and all 3 are doing amazing, incredible things. And I was thinking that night in my quiet time, when I got back to the hotel, I was thinking, you know, in a few years, Dr. Murray's going to be standing up somewhere, and she's going to be talking about the alums of Baker, and she's going to talk about you. And she's going to be talking about the amazing things that you're doing and the amazing people that you are. I just feel blessed that I've had just this little time in your life to be here. So I want to challenge you, especially in this crazy, crazy, crazy busy time that we're in. And now it's a sprint. We're not a marathon anymore. We're in a sprint until the end of the semester. So I'm going to challenge you to try to find that quiet time. I'm going to remind you that you are not alone in that quiet time. God will be there. You'll also get to reflect and know that you have friends that are there, you have family that love you, you have faculty and staff here who support you. You are not alone. Most of all, you'll find that you have Christ that's there, who's your comforter, your counselor, your friend, your savior. I was 12 years old when I committed my life to Christ. And I will tell you, I'll be 63 this year. So what is that, 51 years? That was the best decision that I made. I've often said it was the best decision to come here. That's probably my second best. I'll guarantee that, so I'll get it. You might be watching this sometime. But I'll tell you, I've found that the good times to the bad, that's what's sustained me and given me, as I love that part in grace I faithfulness. It gave me strength every day, and it gave me a bright hope for tomorrow. My prayer for you as I leave Baker and as you leave this place, that you find true joy in your life. Whatever that joy is and wherever it's going to come from, that you truly find joy in your life, that you find peace in your life, that you find happiness in your life, and that you remember Baker University and the small part that we played for you. I just pray God will bless each and every one of you richly. Thank you.
Instead of the song that we're going to do, you all have access to a hymnal down below your seat.